Now, if you've seen the thumbnail, have you looked in your cupboard lately and found a tin of golden syrup? Now, I was thinking about doing some baking. I've not done some baking for my dad for a little bit. And I was flicking through some recipes on my old Pinterest. And I was rooting through the cupboard. I'm thinking, what can I make? And I found this half tin of golden syrup. I'm not even gonna, wow, 2019. That's pretty bad, isn't it? It's been there a while. I have had a look inside. It has not crystallized. It is not looking too bad. So I'm going to make a golden syrup cake with it. Might as well use it up. So have a look and let's see if we can do something good with this. So here is the recipe ingredients. We've got 100 grams of butter or marge, 50 grams of caster sugar, 50 grams of soft brown sugar, 200 grams of golden syrup. This is not a diet cake, clearly. 200 grams of self-raising flour, 1 egg, 150 mils of milk, and 2 tablespoons of golden syrup. That last 2 tablespoons is if you want to do like a golden syrup glaze on top, which I'm not sure I've got enough to do, but it should be still fine without it. So the first thing we're going to do is do our butter, caster sugar, soft brown sugar, and golden syrup in a pan together to warm and melt through. This is my rough way of doing it. So I look at what ingredients I need and just give myself a little instruction. Just makes my life a little bit easier. I'm not very good at writing full longhand recipes and I really can't be bothered. So that's my little shorthand way of doing it. And the oven is on 140 fan, so it's quite a low and slow cook. It's going to be in there for about an hour. So let's get started melting everything down. I can't quite get the last bits out of the bottom of the tin. So I've just got a pan of boiling water here. I'm just going to drop this in. I've left the spoon in to add a bit of extra weight because I have, yeah, it's floating very slightly. But I'm just going to use that to warm up the last of the dregs from the tin because I'm about 30 grams short. And I bet there's probably about 30 grams in there. So we can leave this for about 10 minutes just to soften off and then we can continue with the rest of the recipe. Well, that has massively, massively softened down all of the stuff in here. So let's make sure that we've got it all in. Look how, yeah, there you go. Look how much better that is. Easily cleaned out the bottom of that tin. Totally recommend doing that. Much better. Now, what we're going to do now is heat this up. Rear left, there we go. Get rid of our hot water pan out of the way. We're just going to heat this up. I'm going to start on hot, you know, on a high heat, just for a minute, just to get it going. And then I'm just going to put it down onto a simmer just till everything has melted together. So on the low simmer, this has started to soften and melt down. I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes. I just want it so that those last bits of butter have melted. We've not made any kind of rapid heat or anything to make it bubble. Just really low and gentle because you don't want to catch that sugar on the bottom. The butter's completely melted, but if you can see on the back of the spoon, there's still a little bit of graininess. So I'm just going to keep it warming just for that little bit longer, just to get rid of some more of that graininess, so that you've got a much smoother mixture. This mixture is cooled down now. I mean, it's going to still be quite warm because it's obviously sugar, and sugar, you know, can go to nuclear power levels. So do be super careful. So in the meantime, while I was melting that and organising that, I have mixed my milk and my egg together. I have lined my tin and sifted my flour. So the first thing we're going to go in with, I'm going to find my good spatula, there it is, got my good spatula, is we're going to go in with the eggy milky mixture first. Just give that a little mix round. And then we're going to go in with the warm mix. So we're going to definitely need to scrape the pan pan to make sure we get everything. So there we go. Now, I said before about using a bit of golden syrup on the cake when it comes out. I haven't got any left. I could do it with a little bit of honey, I suppose. That'd probably work similar. So all we're going to do is just mix this really well together so there are no lumps and bumps in there. So it's not going to be a folding method. It's just going to be mix the heck out of it until everything is all nice and combined. I do my two-hand version, so I'll mix with this hand, but I'll go like that with that hand because it seems to be a little bit quicker. You could also use a stand mixer. I haven't today. I thought I'd get a little bit of mixing exercise in. So there we go, we're getting there. There's a couple of little lumps in there, but nothing big. So another little mix. Just making sure that we don't have any lumps of flour in there. And we are going to go into the container. This is a £2 loaf tin. Very runny mixture. Use that spatula, scrape it all down. Watch what you're doing, because otherwise you'll do what I nearly did, was just pour it out of the container. There we go. I've said this before, Chris says he could never be a baker or work in a kitchen because he'd spend too much time trying to scrape every single last drop from a bowl or a pan. And he just wouldn't have time to do any cooking. So, there we go. All done. Oven's been preheating. Always remember to preheat your oven with baking. I never preheat my oven. When I'm doing anything else, I just chuck everything in. But with baking, you've got to. So that's going in 140 fan for about an hour, or until a skewer comes out nice and clean. I've just, oh, let me put the lights on. There you go. I've just pulled this out from the oven. It smells amazing. That golden syrup smell is unbelievable. I'm just going to test it with a skewer. And there we go. Out and nice and clean. Looks brilliant. Like I say, it smells great. This was in for an hour and 5 minutes. So slightly over the hour. You have to excuse me, I've got a little bit of hiccups. Slightly over the hour. I'm going to leave it in here now for 10 minutes. If you are going to glaze it, leave it in here for 10 minutes, poke some holes in it, and just brush some slightly warmed golden syrup over the top. And that'll be pretty much it. Other than that, I'm just going to leave it for, I think I'm going to let it cool in the tin until it's completely done. And we will see if Chris likes it later. Chris is home from work. He has no idea what we've made. No, not a clue. He's like, what's that? What is this? What have I got? So, there we go. Okay. There you go. Try it. What does it smell like?
I'm not sure. What's that?
Puzzlement.
Is it honey? No.
No. Golden syrup.
Oh.
We had some left.
I can taste it now.
Yeah, we had some left in the cupboard that is from 2019.
Okay.
And I was like, we need to use it up. And I thought, well, I'll make a golden syrup cake. What do you think?
Yeah, I can taste it more and more now. It's really nice.
Okay, there you go.
With custard.
Oh, yes. Well, Chris clearly liked the cake. He's taken it to work for the past couple of days. I took some round to my dad when I did shopping day with him, and he really likes it too. Now, the good thing about this cake is it will last a good few days, especially if you don't decide to use it straight away. The person who I got the recipe off said that if you keep it wrapped up for a couple of days, the flavour will actually mature a little bit more. So you'll get a more stronger flavoured cake. So that's even better if you particularly like the richness of the golden syrup. So that was our baking. That was our cleaning out our 2019 golden syrup. Confess. Confess in the comments if you've got something like that in your cupboard. If you see my kimchi recipe recently, I can't remember whether I mentioned it in that, but I had a tub of gochujang, which was out of date, but it's fermented paste. So it worked perfectly well. And James Martin, I saw you. Not that James Martin's ever going to watch this video, but James Martin, I saw you on one of your programmes on a Saturday morning where there was a tub of gochujang. And I'm pretty certain that the date on that was way past. I have bought a new gochujang though, because I'm making another kimchi today. This is a bit of a strange one. I'm not posting a video about this, but I'll just quickly show you. I don't know if you can see down here. There you go. Sprout kimchi. Sprouts, mini cabbages, should work. We're going to give it a go. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.